The following is a Shaw TV Sports special presentation.
For 2011, the Manitoba men's curling scene comes to Boehmer. 32 teams descend on the province's South Interlake region for the chance to dance at the Brier. For the first time in years, the number one seed isn't named Stoughton or Burtnick. But the 8-time champ is back with a new look, the same goal, and a target on his back. This year, familiar faces are in new places, and wily veterans still believe in Cinderella. Will it be a three-peat, a changing of the guard, or will someone shock the curling world? The journey to the Bison Jackets and the 2011 Safeway Championship starts today, and it starts right here, right now, only on Shaw TV. Hello and welcome to Boehmer, the home of the 2011 Safeway Championship, where we will crown another Manitoba curling champion for the men, of course, and we are doing it from Boehmer, Manitoba, at the Sungrowth Center specifically. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Toth, and we here at Shaw TV are very happy to be bringing you another Safeway Championship. And as the intro showed you, who knows what will happen this year. It was a titanic battle that was won in an extra end final last year between Stoughton and McEwen. Mike McEwen is now the number one seed, but there are a ton of new faces in new places, and we'll find out who's the hottest team coming into today, and as we bring you the final live Sunday afternoon at 1:30. We have a great first match for you to kick things off here on the Wednesday out in Boehmer, and to set it all up for you is the people who will be with us all week calling each and every match, Mike Beauregard and Kathy Gauthier.
Thanks a lot, Jim. We look forward to your interviews and your slapstick. Can we handle him for 5 days?
I think we're going to have to.
We started with 32 rinks this morning. We'll crown a champion on Sunday night, and really when you look at the field, there are 2, maybe 3 rinks that really stand out.
Well, all the talk this week and leading up to this event has been about Stoughton, McEwen, and maybe Rob Fowler coming through the middle. But there are a lot of other teams in this event that are good, Mike. They don't put as much time into it, but they are capable of beating those teams. And so if the top 3 aren't paying attention, a team like we're going to watch later today could win.
Our featured match pits a couple of veteran Manitoba curling rinks against each other. Our team introductions are brought to you by Geldwin Windows and Doors.
My name is Andy Stewart from the Roster Curling Club. My lead is Brent Baschuk. Second is Brian Galbraith. Third is Kevin Thompson. And skip Andy Stewart.
Hi, my name is Dave Boehmer from the Petersville Curling Club. My lead is Jeff Donahoe. My second, Terry McRae. And my third, Alan Croy.
Let's go back to Jim Toth.
Okay, thanks very much, guys. We are set for our first match from the 2011 Safeway Championship, and it's coming up next, only on Shaw TV.
Safeway, proud sponsor of the Safeway Championship, brought to you by Eating Right, uniting flavor and nutrition. Visit safewaychampionship.ca for more information.
Geldwin Windows and Doors. Reliability for real life.
Granny's Poultry proudly supports Safeway Championship Curling. Visit grannies.ca.
Safeway Championship Curling on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by Manitoba canola growers. Visit canolarecipes.ca.
This is Harvey. He was left alone, tied to a pole outside of the Winnipeg Humane Society. This is Harvey now. He was adopted and now enjoys life with a family that adores him. Watch the IAMS 1001 Donations Telethon live on Shaw TV March 20th and give another pet a chance to be as happy as Harvey.
Safeway, proud sponsor of the Safeway Championship, brought to you by Email Direct. For more information, visit safewaychampionship.ca.
This end brought to you by Moxie's Classic Grill.
Grow Center, lovely facility here in Beausejour, and opening round coverage of the 2011 Safeway Championship. Mike Beauregard, Kathy Gauthier, Jim Toth is in the building as well. He'll be working the room, providing us with interviews and analysis throughout this championship. Our featured match is just underway. It pits Andy Stewart of Rosser up against veteran Dave Boehmer of Petersfield. And Kathy, what can we expect out of these two veteran rinks?
Well, neither Andy or Dave have a reputation of really wanting to mix things up. Both play a relatively defensive game, and you would expect that in the first end on most of the sheets, but what you would anticipate is that somebody will want to start to go and really force their opponent. It will be interesting who's prepared to do that first. You see the first draw thrown by Andy Stewart's team right into the house, which is what you would expect. Dave, of course, has the option of throwing a corner guard, but given it's the first game, you can expect a pretty simple first end until the teams are comfortable with the ice conditions, and then they'll go.
Boehmer is coming off a perfect run at the MCA Bonspiel, went 9-0 to win the title, his second MCA Bonspiel title in 3 years. Does he have a shot if he's curling well? His team is really curling well this week.
Well, the interesting thing is Dave Boehmer himself is a very well-respected curler. He was in juniors. He moved that up to men. The biggest difference for Dave this year is that his team hasn't played a whole lot. And what you find in a 5-day championship, because it's Wednesday, we'll crown someone on Sunday, the teams that don't play a lot, it starts to catch up on you. It is mentally and physically fatiguing. And that's where these teams will have the struggles, Mike. It's not that he can't go toe-to-toe, but when you don't play in the kind of events that the Stoutons, McEwens, and Fowlers have played in, it's hard to stay at that top level for 5 days.
How much time have they had on this ice prior to this championship?
Well, they've had a couple of minutes. They've had 30 minutes yesterday. Every team is given 30 minutes to practice the day before. You get one sheet. You don't get to move across. And so they would have thrown yesterday. And then they get the 7 minutes before the game, each game. And in previous years, all of the teams were given the option of throwing rocks if somebody wasn't out or at the end of the day. That is no longer the case at the Scotties or the Safeway Championship. You're on the ice when you're playing, and when you're not playing, you're off.
8-time champion Jeff Stoughton has opened with a victory, an 8-3 win over Perry Fisher of Wawanesa. Among the opening round losers, Brent Scales lost to Randy Neufeld, and David Hamlin fell to Ryan Hyde of Portage. Top seed Mike McEwen is on later today. He'll curl Don Holmes.
Right up.
And another favorite here this week, a team to look out for, Rob Fowler is on the ice right now. Rob Fowler's curling Roger Parker of Dauphin. Our featured game, Dave Boehmer against Andy Stewart.
I got 7-4 on his too.
First end action.
You heard the 7-4 reference. That's the time between the hog lines. A lot of the teams in women's will be throwing 9.5 on hits. Men's tend to throw them a little bit harder, but when you're throwing anything in the 7 range, it's pretty tough on really keen ice to stick around, and that probably explains why he rolled it.
Boy, Brian.
Talking to some of the teams before the draw, the comments they made on the ice is that they were planning on watching it a lot today. Yesterday, it curled almost too much. They were taking ice almost on the boards to get it to the 4-foot, so suggesting the swing was too much. We've seen middle of the 12-foot to get to the lid, so that's a lot of movement. Often what you'll see is on green ice, it will take a couple of days for it to settle in, if you will, and then straighten out a bit, not a lot. Ideally, you're looking for 6 to 8 feet of curl. And the curlers will get that. We have such tremendous ice makers here, and Mr. Wasko and Hans Futrick.
Into third stones now. Here's Kevin Thompson.
And a great look at Kevin. Was off most of last year, had some major reconstructive knee surgery. Took him out of the game for a while.
45-year-old's been curling 30 years.
This is the wide open first stand that we thought we would see, although what we thought we would see and the other skips were hoping to have is some more hit and sticks to force your opponent to make something, because the advantage for the Boehmer team with those rollouts is that they have the advantage of learning and finding draw weight.
It's nice, just clean, just clean, just clean.
Here's the first from Alan Croy.
Good, good, good. Body move.
Good crowd here at the Sungrow Center for the second draw of the day. I have never been in this facility, but it's marvelous.
It is a great complex surrounded by ball diamonds, very much like Altona for the Scotties last week. More and more rural areas are building complexes that sort of cover off every sport, and what fantastic facilities they are.
That was the same as the first one, wasn't it? No?
Good throw. One rock in play.
Yep. Whoa.
Last of the third stones.
No. Yep, yep. Whoa, yep, yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.
Alan Croy gets the nose hit. Well, there was a time when Dave Boehmer was considered perhaps the next big name in Manitoba curling in the early 2000s, for sure.
For sure he was. In those days had Brent Boehmer playing third. They were considered one of the strongest backhands. Calls a very, very good game, does Dave. Reads ice really well. But the challenge becomes how much time can you put into it. And, you know, one of the questions that we'll talk about during the course of the week, Mike, is that we gave a questionnaire to the curlers to give us some information about their season, but we also asked them a couple of questions about coaching, and we asked them questions about, you know, whether they felt the World Curling Tour had in fact created better curling, or really a division between a couple of the teams that could travel for a living and those that could not afford to. And it will be interesting to take a look at some of those results and the views of the curlers.
We're into skip stones now in the first end. Our featured match on the opening day of the Safeway Championship. And there's a look at Dave Boehmer. He figures he's been in close to 20 of these championships. Didn't have an exact figure. His first stone. And a shooter hangs around.
Let's stop quick, eh?
Even if I jam the back one, it's out.
Relatively easy first stand for Andy Stewart as he sits in the hack for his final stone. You heard him saying even if I jam the back, it won't be in, and you can see all that white space behind the house. He's quite true about that.
Boehmer has last rock. There's the final stone from Andy Stewart.
Clean, clean.
Who's a good foot taller than me.
Whoa.
As am I.
Not that that's hard to accomplish.
Shot.
One rock in play for the final stone
Sweeping, guys.
For Boehmer. Some school kids in the audience today. Always nice to get out of school.
And it's great for the sport as well. If something this big is happening in your community and you have the opportunity to go and see it firsthand, hopefully help to develop some new junior champions.
And I tell you, the canteen, Kathy's doing pretty good business. Last rock of the first end. Dave Boehmer facing one, and he's called off his sweepers, but gets the blank end. So just as you predicted. Any other predictions I should put some money on?
Yeah, just bet on me. You'll be fine.
Well, you're on a win streak lately. Andy Stewart on the left, Dave Boehmer on the right. Looks like Andy's got a few inches on Dave as well. They don't feel so bad. Andy's been to 14 of these in different roles.
Well, he's gotten pretty far too. He's got to the final weekend, had some great success with Ron Gauthier, with Greg McGibbon over the years. Interested fans look on.
The start of the second end of our featured match. Scoreless so far. Mike Beauregard, Kathy Gauthier, Jim Toth, pleased to be bringing you 5 days of coverage here of the Safeway Championship from Beausejour. It'll be interesting to see what kind of trouble Jim Toth gets himself into. He's roaming the Sungrow Center, looking for interviews, feature-ish stuff.
And here's a great example of the kind of thing I talked about earlier about being defensive. The first end, absolutely acceptable that you run it up and down. There are very few top teams that would, in the second end, go to play a removal of this stone. Even though it's in a great spot, here would be the time if you wanted to throw a corner guard, you could start to get the game underway. But you see by that call that Dave is not interested in playing that. And it will be interesting to see when he is. And now Andy Stewart changing his tactics, thinking maybe to get this game on and force it by throwing a tight guard.
Now, is that just a kind of a style thing, or is that a confidence thing as well, given, you know, how little they play compared to an elite team that's traveling?
It's a combination of both. I think that for someone like Dave Boehmer has had a lot of success in his career playing a very conservative style, and so he may not feel that he needs to change things up. The difference will be that there will be teams that Dave and others will play this week that won't let you play the kind of game you want. Because of the free guard zone, you can throw a guard, and then your opponent doesn't have a choice. Again, we see another stone in the 4-foot from Andy Stewart's team, and again, you see the attempted removal by the Boehmer squad. I don't think it's discomfort, Mike. They just came through a great role at the MCA, as you said. He's really comfortable with his players. Really good ice. It really is his style.
We're into the second end of our featured match, and this end is brought to you by Moxie's Classic Grill, proud supporters of Manitoba's roaring game. No score between Dave Boehmer and Andy Stewart.
Tighter in, Brian.
Another clean end in the making here.
Seems to be, yeah. Dragging it, eh? Yeah.
Chance for Andy Stewart and his team to draw weight. Ice conditions very good from what we have seen so far.
The 98, eh?
98 referring to the split time. That's a 3.98.
Heads up. Just tight. Line's real good. Just tight.
Whoa.
About a foot out. Sliding good. Attaboy.
It's one of those half shots. If the sweepers let off a little bit early, it's a guard if they manage to take it in. But now, of course, it will be dilemma time for Andy Stewart, and we'll see what he's prepared to do if they're able to hit the stick and leave a very tight guard.
What? Now we got to hit it.
Well, you do have to get it, Andy, because it's in the house.
What turn do you want?
In.
Oh, yeah?
Brian Galbraith had a
Just keep
great
reminding me.
success in 1995 playing for his older brother Chris Galbraith, won the Canadian Junior Championship,
Oh, yeah.
went to the Worlds and came home with the bronze medal.
Oh, easy, Brian. Just clean.
Brian's in his 7th Safeway Championship.
Real hard, real hard. Hard for peace. What? Good sweeping.
Little thin.
Almost.
It's that brush back, gets it out of play though.
Halfway.
Now Dave Boehmer's comfortable without any rocks in the house to play a corner guard, and so he is going after the guard game, Mike, but he's just not comfortable when rocks are in the 4-foot, and that again is just a preferred style.
It's in.
Those rocks really slide far. That means that during the course of this week of this event, there will be a lot of pressure on the sweepers, because your goal, of course, is to throw it about 6 feet less than where you want it and have your sweepers take it. And the keener the ice, the more effective your brushers need to be, and the more important they are, not only in judging, but because this ice curls so much, they have to anticipate the break point to make the shot.
Clean.
Into third stones now.
Yep.
First
Yep.
from Kevin Thompson.
Yep. Or what?
Ideally looking for the inside roll, and those may not keep you into the house.
Okay.
Or do you want to go to you want to try for here?
Like that? Kind of like here.
You heard the discussion. It may not look like much of a guard.
A little more ice.
But the risk of playing that out turn in that spot is that if you happen to go just a little bit behind the tee line, or you're in that area and Dave Boehmer corner freezes it, what you're doing is setting up the potential for a deuce. And so because they don't feel they can make it very good, they're going to play the open side, force play out to the wing.
Heads up. Heads up.
Whoa, front of tee.
Just tee line, just tee line.
Front of tee, whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa. What was that?
No, it hangs around.
Attaboy.
Not what they had in mind, Kathy?
Yeah, it's okay. He would ideally have liked to be in front of the tee line.
Yep.
So he's okay with it. It is in the house. Dave Boehmer's going to hit it in either case.
Yep.
This is really about making your draws exact so that you know. So Kevin's okay with it, but he would have liked to have felt that he had really good draw weight, maybe thrown it to his sweepers.
Regular.
The nose hit there from Alan Croy.
Right on the nose.
We're talking about other teams out here. The one team that went after his opponent right away was Rob Fowler, managing to take 3 in the first end.
Just in case it jumps, be ready.
It was one of those situations. The other team threw it in the 4-foot. Rob threw the corner guard right away. And that's the experience of being on the road this year. They know that often in arena conditions, the ice is at its best in the early part of the game. Plus, you're playing somebody who may not be as experienced as yourself.
Whoa, just clean.
Put some pressure on them early and manage to crack a field goal.
Rob's playing Roger Parker of Dauphin, and as Kathy mentioned, up 3-0 playing the second end.
Like I'm thinking about there.
In our featured match, Stewart's rink, line 1. Dave Boehmer has the hammer.
Would like to really stick around on this one.
They don't want to mix it up with us, eh?
Don't know that you want to mix it up with them either, David.
No. Yep. Right up. Right up. Right up. Whoa.
Now what?
Well thrown. Andy Stewart already sitting in the hack. Pretty wide open. Similar shot that he just threw.
Line's better. Just clean.
Just clean.
Clean.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yep.
Whoa. Just clean. That's good. Okay.
Same ice, I would think. Yep.
And so for the second in a row, Dave Boehmer will have a wide open hit, trying to blank this and move on to 3, and we'll see then if he's ready to play.
I lose the broom so much when I motion.
Last rock of the second.
Oh, never.
Dave Boehmer facing 1. Yellow counter. And mission accomplished. A second consecutive blanked end. No score in our featured match between Dave Boehmer and Alan Stewart. We're back with more of the Safeway Championship in just a moment. Stay tuned.
You're in the Northern League now, son. Section F, row 10, seat 2.
The Winnipeg Gold Eyes. For more information, visit goldeyes.com.
Safeway Championship Curling on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by Manitoba canola growers. Visit canolarecipes.ca.
Safeway, proud sponsor of the Safeway Championship, brought to you by Eating Right, uniting flavor and nutrition. Visit safewaychampionship.ca for more information.
Granny's Poultry proudly supports Safeway Championship Curling. Visit grannys.ca.
Something to say on every play. Sports Select Sports Talk on Shaw TV.
Shaw TV and McNally Robinson present Joanne Kelly's Book Club. Join the conversation of McNally Robinson on the last Tuesday of the month. For more information, contact joanne.kelly@sjrb.ca or call 480-3410.
Our third end of play is brought to you by Granny's Poultry, a proud supporter of Manitoba curling. Welcome back to the Sungrow Center in Beausejour. Mike Beauregard, Kathy Gauthier, Jim Toth Our featured match on opening day, Dave Boehmer of Petersfield against Alan Stewart of the Rosser Curling Club. No score through 2 ends.
Get out of the way. You all right?
And if you missed it off the top, Jeff Stoughton, 8-time champion, a winner this morning against Perry Fisher of Wawanesa. Another top seed. Rob Fowler is on the ice right now, and he's leading 3-0 after an end of play against Roger Parker of Dauphin. And top seed Mike McEwen opens later today against Don Holmes, Widow Park.
Well, Andy Stewart decided to force the game. Often you keep throwing the rock in the house and wait for your opponent to throw the corner guard, but has decided to throw a center guard because the ice curls so much. It actually acted more as a corner guard. And Team Boehmer, trying to get around that, was not able to.
Downer.
And so our game, Mike, is now on.
The rope was better.
You can see the ice that Andy taking. He's taking the edge of the 12-8 to get around what is essentially a corner guard on the other side of the center line.
Okay, we got room. Right here, just for weight. Here it comes, though.
Lots
Here it comes.
and lots of curl here.
Yep, hard now. Go on it. Here it goes. Yep, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Finish it.
Shot.
Good sweeping, guys. Kind of like here.
Chance for us now to look at the out turn. We saw how much the in turn warped. David taking outside of the rings.
Walk the cat.
Off in the rocks. We saw even on his hits that they will stay straighter out there. This rock is way out there. You would expect the break point often on ice in the arena to be about 2 feet in front of the hog line. That's when it starts to make its move. But you can see that this path does not move as much, and so great opportunity to learn about the ice. But wow, finishes hard.
You want to try hack?
Brian probably has half, at least, from the hack.
Into second stones now. The first from Brian Galbraith.
Just hack. Yep. Hard.
1995 Canadian Junior Champion.
Clean, close. Whoa.
He's got a lovely shot.
Whoa.
Well thrown. Often what we see on really swingy ice is that if you overthrow the middle weights, the hack to bumper, they will take a completely different path. Brian doing a great job of throwing hack weight, and we saw that it does definitely finish. So same shot for Terry McRae.
Yep, hard! Hey! Hard! Okay.
Terry just a little tight out of his hand. Really tough if you're tight on this kind of ice. If you're outside a little bit, it is forgiving. Not so much if you're tight.
There's a big pile of snow, so clean. Yep. 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 For line. Yep. Where is it? Yep. Whoa, there. Whoa. Yes. Yep.
Andy looking to guard that stone, took outside of the rings, but you can see it's going to over curl.
Jeez. A long ways out.
Yeah, by quite a bit.
It just does finish. He's got at least 3/4, if not all.
Last of the second stones. It's unusual at this juncture to see just 4 of one color. We've got 4 yellow.
Do you like bright lights as well?
I like scoring.
Good shot.
Nicely done. Got a little bit of an inside roll.
Need Hawk weight.
Okay. We get the front here, it's not terrible.
Kevin's reference, if we get the front here, it's not terrible, and that's because of the Mike Beauregard, I love all the same color scenario. If you do happen to hit the guard, yellow goes onto yellow, goes onto yellow, and promotes another of your stone in, but the objective certainly is making the red go away.
Okay, let's roll away. Yep, roll away. Good sweeping.
Nicely done.
How do you see this end transpiring, given what is on the table right now?
Well, it's really interesting because if Alan Croy is able to make a roll behind those 3 yellow stones, the way that they're staggered, there is no way to promote any of them.
Okay.
But this rock hanging very, very straight out here.
Some play this draw here, eh?
You want to try this turn?
No? Oh, we get this buried here. He's going to have to wreck the front. What are you guys thinking? Did you get a split on that?
You want to go this way, or you want to come this way?
I like this.
Okay. You know what?
Now there's interesting. Look at where Andy Stewart has taken ice. He's right on the rubber, and he's moved the broom up. The farther you move up, in fact, it creates more distance because that's how the rocks will break. The question is, on this ice, can you get around a rock from the outside if the guard is off the center? And what we see is that at some point when you get out there, it runs pretty straight. It's also a wee bit heavy.
Not a boy.
It'll be tricky ice. Great ice, but tricky.
Pretty slick out here.
The last of the third stones coming at a scoreless tie between Dave Boehmer and Andy Stewart. My apologies, I think I called Andy Allen earlier. I may call him Rod before the day is done.
Whoa, looks like a lot of weight. Okay, clean then. Clean, yep. Whoa, lot of room, lots of weight. Yep. Whoa. Period. Whoa.
There's the finish. You just want to stay in front of the tee line.
Shout out.
So red, Boehmer's rock is shot. He has the hammer in his third end.
Even if you're here, that's good, eh?
Well, yeah, that's where I want to be.
Where'd you give me?
I give you up here.
Because that was heavy too, eh?
Yeah.
You didn't sweep mine at all.
No.
I like that spot. That's good.
Well, for Dave Boehmer and his team, they managed to negate those 2 yellow stones by being completely buried. The only negative is that because it is deep, for Andy Stewart, he can come down anywhere
it's a big finish.
in front of it.
Yeah. So.
First rock for 49-year-old Andy Stewart.
Stay close. Stay close.
Stay close.
Stay close. Here it comes.
Whoa. Stay close. Stay with it. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, I think he had the right ice for sure, Mike. If he has sweeping weight, that stone's going to be buried completely.
It's not just the shape quicker here.
We've talked a lot about the ice, reading the ice, brought to you by Safeway. What we've seen is a ton of movement. Around the center guard, you have to be out on the rubber to get it to go around because of the movement, 8 feet. That is tremendous. Corner guards, if they're not tight, they're going to be impossible to get around because of the movement, and that actually shows how fast and how hard they curl. You've got about 8 feet of movement. Some great times. 3.6 is closer to actually to 3.9 or 4. Very, very quick. 15.5 to 16 between the hog lines. 24, almost 25 seconds. We've seen the ice get even quicker since this game started in the first end.
Here's the first stone from Dave Boehmer. He has the hammer and his lying shot. That doesn't get to the house.
That doesn't, remembering that Dave's first 4 stones were all 6.5 second peels. Then you have to go to the draw game. Sometimes it takes you a rock or two to find draw weight.
Yeah. So we'll have to just.
I mean, it's either that, I mean, you can play this.
Yeah.
Then he'll probably hit. I mean, for back, we're in 12 foot, I mean, he won't hit. I just don't want to play around with that guard.
No. Well, do you want to take here then? I mean, even if I jam it, we're laying 2, right?
Okay. Like normal?
Yeah, normal.
2 different choices on this shot, Mike. One of them is that you play the shot that they are, which is to tap that stone back, remove it, roll away. You could lie 4.
Just pick that one out, and we're laying 2, and he's got to draw, because it doesn't really matter. Instead of show him the draw and make him find draw weight.
And there's your answer why they're playing
Just
it.
watch the line, eh? Watch the line.
And he could choose to play relatively easy way, tap it back in lie 4, or even control weight. They're just really concerned that even though we can see half, it curls so much that they don't want to mess with their own. So this is just to pick it out. He'll jam on his own if he hits it at the angle he thinks he will. We want Dave Boehmer to have to find draw weight.
Last stone for Andy Stewart, going after the red rock. Gets rid of it to lie 2.
Well, Dave had a chance on his first one to find draw weight. He saw how short he was. Needs to add just a couple of feet. All he needs is full 8 foot.
Yeah.
This rock will curl almost 8 feet in terms of going lateral motion, and so that's also something that you have to think about in the hack. It's not only it needs to go farther, it needs to go about 8 feet farther because of the curl.
Better clean it anyway. Better clean it, yeah. All yours, guys.
Last rock of the third end. Dave Boehmer facing 2.
Hard.
Andy Stewart counters.
Looks good, easy.
We will get some scoring in this end, Kathy.
Don't lose it, can't hurt. Yeah.
We will.
Needing at least the 8 foot.
Shot.
And he does even better. Grabbing a piece of the button. So Dave Boehmer on with his draw weight in the third end. Scores 1 and leads Andy Stewart in our featured match 1-0 heading to the 4th. We're back in a moment from Beausejour. Don't go away.
Come on, Goldie, really put your hips into it.
The Winnipeg Gold Eyes. For more information, visit goldeyes.com.
Geldwin Windows and Doors. Reliability for real life.
Safeway, proud sponsor of the Safeway Championship, brought to you by Email Direct. For more information, visit safewaychampionship.ca.
Safeway Championship Curling on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by Manitoba canola growers. Visit canolarecipes.ca.
Granny's Poultry proudly supports Safeway Championship Curling. Visit grannies.ca.
Now playing on Shaw Video On Demand.
I need to do something substantial in order to get the attention of the clubs.
Why?
Because they're exclusive and fun, and they lead to a better life. People want to go on the internet and check out their friends, so why not build a website that offers that friends, pictures, profiles? I'm talking about taking the entire social experience of college and putting it online.
The site got 2,200 hits within 2 hours?
22,000.
Safeway, proud sponsor of the Safeway Championship, brought to you by Eating Right, uniting flavor and nutrition. Visit safewaychampionship.ca for more information.
Our fourth end is brought to you by Steinbach Credit Union, a proud supporter of the Roaring Game. Welcome back to Beausejour, the Sungrow Center. Good crowd for the afternoon draw here on opening day. In our featured match, Dave Boehmer leads Andy Stewart 1-0 after 3 ends of play.
That's Dad.
Well,
Kathy,
I'm sorry, am I just going to say in that last end, if you're just joining us, it wasn't a conservative end at all. Both teams actually played, which was great, and that sort of sets the basis and the tempo for the rest of this game.
Rob Fowler has a 3-1 lead. Rob considered one of the teams to watch in this event, leading Roger Parker of Dauphin.
Clean it.
Peter Nichols is up 5-2 on Troy Hamilton. 8-time champion Jeff Stoughton opened with a victory this morning.
Heads up, 8 foot.
Mike McEwen is on the ice
Line's
later.
real good. Just 8 foot. Full 8.
And I won't ask you today to pick
Thank you.
a winner between those two if they happen to meet up on the weekend.
Well, for sure, one of the great stories coming out of Manitoba men's this year is the emergence of Mike McEwen. He certainly has been on the scene for many years. He's been a really great player, but he found how to win on the World Curling Tour. And as soon as you find out how to win, the other teams start to worry a little bit more about you, and so they play a little bit more uptight. So he's beating the Kevin Martins and the Russ Howards of the world, and he didn't just win once, Mike. He won a number of times, and so he really has made a statement that he's elevated his game, and his team is ready to play. The challenge will be Jeff Stoughton is always ready to play, and no one likes Buffaloes more than Jeff Stoughton.
Well, both teams are curling well, so should bode well for this week. But you're right, the McEwen rink, they've learned how to win. They've won 2 of the 3 Grand Slam events this year. They won in Portage in October in a final we did against Jeff. In fact, they beat Jeff a few weeks ago at the Canadian Open.
They did, but you know what, as someone who played for a long time, I used to always watch teams, and I felt that there was 2 separate seasons. There was the cash flow season and the honor season, as I call it, where you have a chance to represent your province or your country. And the one thing that we saw is that often the people that can win money don't win the honor, or the people that seem to be able to win for pride don't do so well for money. We don't know that Mike McEwen isn't in that mold, but it will be really interesting to see how this week plays out.
Well, if he's even slightly off, they won't win. The Stoughton foursome is playing extremely well. They've made it to 2 Grand Slam finals this year. Beat Kevin Martin a few weeks ago in the Canadian Open. And Rob Fowler's rink on the ice right now and leading, made the quarters in that Grand Slam event. So.
Well, and for a lot of the other teams out here, like the Andy Stewarts of the world and the Dave Boehmers, I talked to Andy last week in Stonewall, and he said as far as they're concerned, they're really great that everybody's focusing on those teams. They can just quietly go out here and do their business and maybe surprise some people. And that's a great attitude.
Guys. Okay, good. Very nice.
Nice shot. Not only taps it back, but that control zone now, even though shot stone is Andy Stewart, the control zone very much is all Dave Boehmer.
Almost got to feel that front.
Is it worth coming here?
Same thing.
Well, I can't get to that with this one, but you want to try here?
Am I bumping? Are we okay?
Yeah, if you want, Tad.
Yeah.
Andy needs to create some angles. Last rock now belongs to his team throwing yellow stones, and unfortunately for Andy, Dave Boehmer has a shot on either the in-turn or the out-turn side to be shot.
Hurry hard!
Barry
hard, get by, come on, hard, next by, come on, quick, keep going. Okay, keep going, right those, biter. Okay, whoa, that's good. It's all right.
Trying to set up not only getting another stone in the house, but potentially an angle for an in-off later if he needs it.
This would be better, I guess. Now, hang on. Yeah. Normal. Hard. Whoa. Nice shot.
Need a little wiggle.
Lets the yellow go away, spreads the red stones out. Dave trying to get that red stone in the 4-foot behind the yellow. Very sharp angle for the double.
You want to try that? Okay, bumper.
It's so interesting. You know, I've watched so much juniors in the last couple of years. I've got two kids that play, particularly my daughter Gaetan at 14 has been playing a lot. And at juniors, people are so sensitive if you tell the skip what you'd like to play. And at men's and women's, there's so much discussion because they really want the person in the hack to make the shot. It's not suggesting that the skip isn't in charge, but the thrower has got to like the shot.
Here's the second from Galbraith.
Sorry.
Brian was an all-star at the Safeway Championship in '07.
This is probably easier to make with firm weight.
That would be the letter D
because
that young man
if you throw
has.
firm, you'll just knock this one over here.
Like Sesame Street.
Oh. You're good. Attaboy.
Girls right in front. On one hand, it protects the red stone, but definitely allows Team Stewart to play the double. In the process of that, your shooter would roll behind the guard.
This look like it's hooked, eh? Can we roll to the other side? Yeah. Yeah.
Just normal.
Yep.
Here comes the first from Kevin Thompson. What do we expect to see here, Kath?
Well, he's looking to play the double and roll.
Good normal. Whoa.
Oh, he's got a guard out front to roll behind.
Whoa. Close. We'll go the other way.
Whoa.
Close. Yep.
You know, they were trying to play it the other way. The one thing that we do know on arena ice that is made by Hans and Eric and Wayne and Greg Wasco, what you often see is that even though it warps a ton with draw weight, as soon as you up the weight at all, it is going to run pretty straight. And so Stewie didn't get the finish that he was really looking for. And that's something that curlers will really use today to do, is really learn the ice. Everybody plays at least once today. Some teams play twice. We know by the end of today, 4 teams will be out. Some teams won't play their second game until tomorrow, but it is a learning day
You want to go here?
of the ice.
Well, it just goes on to here, and he's behind the guard and shooting. He wraps another one around. Unless you want to throw easy. Yeah. Okay, play it. Roll here. Normal? Okay.
The ongoing chess game of it's not what you make, it's what you leave.
Whoa, whoa!
There's the second from Alan Croy. Going after those 2 Yellowstones.
Okay.
Winds up spilling one of his own.
Well, Dave saw that angle and was concerned about it.
So it was a dead jam. His nose there.
Now I come here.
How about the nose? Nose hit.
Yeah. Hey.
You guys like that? Same way.
Yep.
Andy pondered the decision to come around the stone. The only challenge for doing that is that you're buried behind your opponents if he makes a straight back, and that's what Dave Boehmer is great at doing, the big weights, the run backs. Now you're buried and your opponent is guarding it, and that's why Kevin Thompson wants this rock to go away.
Might need that.
So the Stewart rink lying 2 with last rock in this end.
Dave Boehmer would love an inside roll on this. This is the exact same spot in the second end that he played 2 blanks. His ice is a little bit tighter than he threw on both of those, even the one that he stuck.
Stay with it. Whoa.
The first from Dave Boehmer, MCA Bonspiel champion. Doesn't roll much.
I don't mind this.
And we'll certainly let Andy Stewart off the hook on that one if he was able to roll behind.
He's just going to run this double.
Well, he's got to make it then, but...
Yeah, true.
I mean, he's hitting set. He won't be able to... Because you go there, then he rolls in behind,
this,
eh?
then. Yeah, let's play that.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
I knows it, that's...
I think just normal.
Yeah,
right?
same as I've been throwing.
Yeah.
And I think you need to definitely play that roll, Andy. If you leave it out there, Dave Boehmer's thrown in that spot just now. He's not going to make the same mistake twice and stick it there.
Even though he might get a double, but he's rolling out, eh? This way he doesn't... But...
Great chance to put some pressure on Dave Boehmer.
To me... Yeah. Stay close.
In the bio, Kathy, we had Andy fill out. We asked him how many years he had curled, and he answered with too many.
Well, he still obviously loves the game because he's still playing a lot, and that's great.
In his 14th Safeway Championship, looking for the hit and then a roll inside if possible, and he gets the nose hit.
That's 2 in a row.
In case it does take off. Yeah, that's about right.
Well, now they're taking ice right beside the rock. That is about 4 inches less than they took. Trying to find that break point where the rocks will actually roll.
making that late move like they were before.
Last rock for David Boehmer in the fourth end. Looking for the hit and roll. Trying to make it difficult on Andy Stewart.
Well, they just weren't able to find that spot. I think he threw that really well, Mike. They just took less ice, and that's the spot, obviously, where the rocks start to...
I mean, for our button shots we were taking right here, right?
Yeah. You just
we're going to have consistent. The ice is going to be the same. Same as the draw you threw going that way. It's going to be about the same.
Yeah. Just give me
like
enough
that
ice.
right there.
Stewart will have a draw for 2.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Big point for Andy Stewart.
Yeah, I'm pretty well the same weights I threw to the buttons, or the draw to the button. Just watch it.
Great chance here in 4. Any part of the paint will do.
Yep. Okay, just clean. Clean it, make sure it's there, yep. Hard! Hard!
Last rock of the fourth, Andy Stewart. A chance to take his first lead and our first deuce of the game.
Okay,
An open draw for 2.
And buries
Good
his
sweeping. Good sweeping. Geez, that's coming hard, eh?
And he makes no mistake, getting as far as the 4-foot. 2-1 is our score. The Stewart foursome leading Dave Boehmer. We have much more curling to come from Beausejour. Stay tuned.
Safeway, proud sponsor of the Safeway Championship, brought to you by Eating Right, uniting flavor and nutrition. Visit Safewaychampionship.ca for more information.
Geldwin Windows and Doors. Reliability for real life.
Safeway Championship Curling on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by Manitoba canola growers. Visit canolarecipes.ca.
Granny's Poultry proudly supports Safeway Championship Curling. Visit grannys.ca.
Three years ago, I had a car accident. I suffered an incomplete spinal cord injury. Was going to do a backflip snowboarding, and I landed straight upside down on my head, shattering my vertebrae in my neck. Wheelchair basketball has opened up doors for me with national teams, possibilities for school abroad in the States. I love the contact of the sport. I love the team playing. I would recommend Manitoba Wheelchair Sports to anyone. It's a lot of fun, and it's a good workout too.
Safeway, proud sponsor of the Safeway Championship, brought to you by Email Direct. For more information, visit Safewaychampionship.ca.
Our fifth end is brought to you by Geldwin Windows and Doors, a proud supporter of Manitoba curling. Welcome back to Beausejour. Mike Beauregard, Kathy Gauthier, Jim Toth is in the building somewhere, and we're hoping to hear from him at the end of this end. He'll have interviews with both skips. At least that's the plan, but with sponsors like Tim Hortons and Granny's, I have a feeling where he is right now. And that's enjoying some food and beverages.
Just a couple feet off center, Jeff.
Well, some opportunities for the Boehmer team last stand, particularly Dave, trying to just find where to put the broom. Had an opportunity on his first one to roll, nosed it, not a bad shot, but took some pressure off Andy Stewart, and then Andy returns the favor by sticking out there, and Dave again not able to find the spot. Took a little bit less, and it broke hard, and Andy Stewart's last one, they were going hard, not for weight, but to get it by the guard. Well, light, and it didn't curl as much as he wanted it to do, so that corner guard is now a center guard, and Andy Stewart going to ask his lead, Jeff Donahoe, to get in there and provide a better guard.
Okay, Rim.
Just updating you on some of the other games. This hour, Rob Fowler
Got a bite center. Okay, halfway, go on it then.
is leading 3-2
Yep, bite the center if you can. Bite the center.
over Roger Parker of Dauphin.
Clean.
I should put my glasses on, Kathy. Brent Strachan is leading David Bone 3-1. Peter Nichols leading Troy Hamilton 5-3. And it's Bob Sigurdsson up 3-2 on Rob Ramage.
Well, if you can.
And in our featured game, Andy Stewart leads David Boehmer. Very tight game. 2-1 after 4 ends of play.
Hart. Line's really good. Hart. Just off it. Hart.
And you can see it's trying to finish really hard.
No bounce. That's pretty good.
Good brushing to get it there.
So this is pretty much the kind of game you expected, and they're playing on the type of ice that players would like, generally.
For sure, I think that it certainly has caught both skips so far in terms of where to put the brush. It is very swingy. I had an opportunity to talk to the Bone boys before the game started, and they felt that if anything, it was curling too much for them. Different teams would disagree. Jeff Stoughton probably loves this kind of ice, Mike McEwen, because this is similar to slam ice, but it does curl a lot, and anticipating that break and finding that there are spots where even though you have a guard that's just off the center line, you cannot get around it, because if you take too much, it hangs out, and if you take a little bit less, it breaks. These are the kind of things that mess with your skip's head, and why a lot of these guys will leave the building with a headache this week.
Now, for a hack like me, or someone who would curl occasionally at a club, how much different is this ice?
You would love this ice, because for someone that doesn't curl a lot, it is very keen, and it's beautiful to throw your stone and watch it get that movement. We don't have that luxury in a lot of the curling clubs. You know, it's frostier outside where you have it thrown, and it's not so keen in the middle. Here you've got consistency right across. That's beautiful no matter how much you play. It curls a lot. Where people that don't play a lot get really caught on this ice quickly is if you don't release it right at the stick, you're finished. You would be finished.
Well, we're glad to have producer Jim McGregor with us this week. We weren't sure that Jim would actually be here. We thought he might be playing since his team was entered in the MCA, but
I know. Just missed out, I believe.
Just missed out, going 1-5.
When he had that first one, I thought we're going to be covering him, but
if you get on here, that's good.
5 consecutive losses sort of took him out of that picture.
You know, when I saw him this morning, I said, "Oh, I'm surprised to see you in the truck. I thought, you'd be warming up by now." Good thing he can take a joke. My mic is still on, so he still likes me for the time being.
Yeah, where is it? Yep. Halfway. Yeah, bring it then. Bring it. Okay, just over and whoa. Just over and whoa.
Well, they tried to get it tight to keep the line. Stopping now just because it finishes so hard at the end. It still actually is not a bad guard.
Hey, look, we could play a little more weight maybe, eh? A little more weight. Bumper.
Last stone for Dave Boehmer, second, Terry McRae.
Whoa! 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 Okay. Sorry.
That's going right through.
Okay.
We're closer to easy hit weight, and unfortunately, the more weight you throw, it does run straighter, and that caught Terry.
Into third stones now. Here's the first from Kevin Thompson.
Where's the weight? Just over. Yep. Little rub. Yep. And we got to get out. Yep. Little rub. You need a rub. Okay, it's all right. Just got to get out to the broom, eh?
Well, and there's the comment that we just talked about, got to get out to the broom. It is really difficult to sit in the hack and believe that you need to take 8-10 feet of ice to get there, and the tendency is to just pinch it a little bit or not throw it pure. And you heard Andy say need to get out to the broom. That is a matter of the person sitting in the hack and believing that the broom is in the right spot.
Bad setup again. It goes on to this, but yeah.
Dave Boehmer needs to open it up. He has no shot at the 4-foot right now. With Last Rock, needs to make sure he has a shot.
Alan Croy coming in with some heat. Spills 2 yellows.
Andy wanting to replace that stone, not as high. Reinforcing to Kevin that he needs to use it all. Andy holding the broom outside of the rings, between the rings and the foam that divides the sheets.
Starts it way outside.
Attaboy, good throw. Straight back.
Here's the last from Alan Croy. Boehmer rink down 2-1. They have the hammer in this end.
Well, they're trying to run that stone right back and make connection with those stones. You can see if yellow goes onto red, onto yellow, just trying to even move those around. Unfortunately, not only did he not do that, but he left his guard there. And so for Dave Boehmer, that front of the house, you see that red on the left, really hard to get around that if it's even possible. And same with the right.
Yeah, I know.
I think we got to throw the guard.
Okay, we guard it, and we could guard it wider too.
That's pretty tough race.
Yeah, another.
Like we can force him right now.
Yeah.
And play the draw.
I mean,
you know?
if he makes it, he makes it.
That's like the guard.
Guard the red. No, well, either way, as long as he cover the red. Yeah. Okay.
Get around this side's tough.
Yeah. I think here.
I don't mind the draw. See, ask them what they think about the draw. But I don't mind that. Right on the E. Tell them the E.
Yeah.
Just above the E.
Well, looks like they've got lots of trouble.
I just have to cover the rocks as he can't straight back it, eh?
Exactly. Yep.
So. Anywhere, and on the because there's still a draw. You can still draw from behind that red one. So, I mean that's the only problem here. But this is probably the well, exactly. Okay, so just yeah. So it's still slick, eh? Okay.
Well, for Kevin Thompson, holding the broom as the third for Andy Stewart, one of the options that he was considering, or he liked, was Andy going after them very hard, and instead of playing the guard, going around now to lie two in the forefoot. Andy never discussed that a whole lot with his front end, feeling very much that they're lying one. You throw a guard, you take away the draw, you take away the run. Take your one if you get the chance.
Little bit.
Whoa. Okay.
Sweep it.
Now, because of that guard, this is the shot that Kevin Thompson was wondering if they should play first. Dave Boehmer, ignoring all those stones, needs to get himself into the forefoot.
Shade more out. It's pretty tight.
First stone for David Boehmer.
Line's good. Line's good.
Facing one undercover.
Okay, wall that. Wall that. Wall, the weight's there. Wall, weight's there. Wall.
Back forward, Lisa.
Not an easy draw, Kathy, given what we've seen thus far in this game.
Well, he's 13-6 between the hogs. That would suggest it's deep.
And it is.
All right. Well, I just gotta. Are we
second shot or third shot?
We're third.
Pretty close.
Well,
Really
it makes the
doesn't
key. Well, no, because he can still pick that for two, eh? But then he can also pick that for steal it two. Well,
I think
you know
you
what?
like to draw this way or you like it that way?
Right there.
Okay.
I mean, I won't be heavy.
Where are we going here?
Farther.
That was your guard.
I know, I need farther. It's farther. Oh, yeah. Might as well go right in. Because if I can fight the forefoot, then we got him hooped. Don't worry, I won't be heavy. I won't be heavy. No. Well, he ain't got that. Yeah. Well, we got third shot. No, we got third shot. Yeah, we have third shot. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll be close.
Your tolerance on this is to be short, which is why you heard Andy say, I won't be deep, meaning if he happens to make the draw, that's awesome, but if he's short, it shuts down this turn.
Easy, I'm out there. Just wait. Lines, stay close.
Whoa, no line.
Stay close.
Where is it?
Stay close.
Go back to here then. Whoa.
Wow.
A really bad break for Andy for sure. We're not sure where that would have wound up, but he took a left turn. Some debris on the ice.
But you're right, whether he made it or not, it would have plugged up that alley. Still a bit of a lane there for Dave.
Well, I can touch that first and still get two. Yeah. Okay, this is good.
And he did have the same shot previously.
Dave's team cleaning the path, particularly over the hog line, making sure whatever was on the ice is now gone.
No, it would be just for two, I think. Really, ideally, 12-foot half bird. I'd have to hit it so perfect, too. Yeah.
Last rock of the fifth end, Dave Boehmer facing one. Andy Stewart trying to steal with 1 yellow, counting behind a lot of cover.
Hard line. Okay, just wait. Watch the second one.
14:42. His time's good. Lovely shot.
And it gets there. Grabbing a piece of the button, so Dave Boehmer under pressure delivers. Scores 1 to tie this game 2-2. Quickly, Kathy, before we go down to Jim Toth, your thoughts on what you've seen thus far?
Well, I think that the biggest difference so far has been both skips trying to figure out where to put the broom. Dave Boehmer making that last shot is huge. He's known for his hits, but now that he's made that big draw, we might see a confidence swing for Team Boehmer.
Do you see any strategies changing, or?
No, I think that both of them are prepared to play, and I can expect in the back five that we're going to see a lot of rocks in play. It's who puts the broom in the right spot and believes it will win.
Just to update quickly, a couple of other games. Bob Sigurdsson leads Rob Ramage 4-2. Peter Nichols up 7-3 on Troy Hamilton. Jeff Stoughton won this morning. Mike McEwen curls later today in his opening game. The top 2 seeds in this event. This fifth end break is brought to you by Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Roaring Game. Let's go downstairs to Jim Toth. Jim?
Thanks very much, Mike. Dave Boehmer, the night train, does join me now. Obviously, a great thing to tie it right there in the last rock you threw in the fifth end.
Yeah, I needed that draw my first one there, and then we might add a chance at 2. But yeah, it's just a little tricky out there, and a little bit too much weight on my first one.
For 2 skips who don't like a lot of rocks in play, there were there in the fifth end. Is that where you're going to try and do more of it throughout the last 5?
More than likely. I think sometimes that's just the way the game goes, where everybody just wants to feel the ice first for the first couple ends, and that's what happened in our game. But we'll definitely probably mix it up the rest of the way.
I thought you'd come out to this 2007 Safeway Championship to Night Train by Guns N' Roses. You couldn't convince the organizers of that?
No. Yeah, that'd be a good theme song for us.
I'll work on that for you for the rest of the way. Good luck in this one.
Okay, thanks.
That's Dave Boehmer, who of course just tied it after 5 ends at 2 apiece, and Andy comes in now. We'll just get your thoughts. Obviously in that fifth end there, your rock hits something that's got to be disappointing.
Yeah, it probably grabbed a carpet fiber with I mean, we should be keeping it clean. It was close because playing a guy like Davey, you got to put the pressure on, and you don't want to give him the same shot twice, and he welded that right in the forefoot for the point. So
2-2 after 5. What's the key for the next 5?
Key for the next 5 is we got to be on our toes and play, because Davey and I have played a lot of games over the years, so we know what he's going to do, so there's going to be no surprises.
2-2 after 5. Always good to beat the Night Train. Good luck in the next 5.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Andy Stewart and Dave Boehmer are tied at 5 apiece. That is your fifth end break. Interviews brought to you by Pepsi. And of course, we'd love to hear from you. Our viewer response is coming up on the screen. We'll be right back with Mike and Kathy and myself, Jim Toth, after this break with the sixth end.
Granny's Poultry proudly supports Safeway Championship Curling. Visit grannies.ca.
Safeway, proud sponsor of the Safeway Championship, brought to you by Eating Right, uniting flavor and nutrition. Visit Safewaychampionship.ca for more information.
Geldwin Windows and Doors. Reliability for real life.
Safeway Safeway Championship Curling on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by Manitoba canola growers. Visit canolarecipes.ca.
WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Friday, February 11th, when the Chilliwack Bruins look to take a bite out of the Okanagan when they visit the Kelowna Rockets. WHL Hockey, only on Shaw.
This is Harvey. He was left alone, tied to a pole outside of the Winnipeg Humane Society. This is Harvey now. He was adopted and now enjoys life with a family that adores him. Watch the IAMS 1001 Donations Telethon live on Shaw TV March 20th and give another pet a chance to be as happy as Harvey.
Manitoba, as the 2011 Safeway Championship is well underway. I'm Jim Toth and joined by Cole Skinner, event coordinator for Curl Manitoba. We're underway here. It's day one. How's everything going?
Great so far. Great crowd for an opening day. Great curling so far, and real excitement in Beausejour for the Safeway Championship.
Takes a village, I guess, to put something this on. Sometimes a city, sometimes a town. How many people involved with this one this year?
In and around 300 volunteers, a host committee of around 20 people that have been working over for a year now to put together a great event. They've done a tremendous job turning this hockey rink into a curling facility. The ice is great, and I've been very, very pleased to work with the folks in Beausejour.
Well, everybody at Curl Manitoba deserves a round of applause too, because it's been a great event so far. I know we're early. Final question for you: is Beausejour named after Mike Beauregard?
You know, I was a history major in school and I never came across that little tidbit, so I'll have to research it a bit, but I would say no.
Everything in Manitoba that starts with Beau, I think, is a reference to Beauregard, but we'll find out. Somebody who should have a town named after them is Kathy Gauthier, and back up to Kathy and Mike right now.
Well, I'm certainly old enough to have a town named after me, but I think Beausejour came before me by just a few years.
He's in the wrong calling. I'm not sure what it is his calling, but we'll find one for him.
The sixth end is brought to you by Tim Hortons, a proud supporter of Manitoba curling. And Jim, if you're not doing anything, and I don't think you are, maybe you can run us up a couple of coffees.
Extra large decaf, 1 and 1, please.
Maybe a little double-double action. Good crowd here in Beausejour at the Sungrow Center. There aren't a lot of people working in this town today or going to school, because there's a huge faction of school kids here. Most of them are taller than me.
Well, they are grade 4.
Oh,
so give yourself some credit.
I haven't grown since grade 4. That was my problem. I was the tallest kid in grade 3.
Made some posters. So obviously,
isn't that nice?
In the process of that, they would have been taught something about the game if they did not already know that. And I think that really is great. I certainly, in Altona, they brought in the kids at the Canadians for both men and women. At the Briar and the Scotties, they do that. And I think it's a great idea when something major is happening in your community, in your city, in your town. If you're able to fill some seats, which is great for the curlers to have fans here, and also help educate what a great game this is, a great lifetime sport. That's a great initiative.
And while we have a second, I want to congratulate you on being a part of that victory in Altona. Kathy Overton Clapham qualifying for the second time for the same championship. So you'll be going to Charlottetown?
Well, I am, but not with Kathy. I'll be working for TSN, but it was, you know what, I would be less than honest if I said I worked really hard. Rob Meekin has been their coach all year, did a great job with them, but of course, because he also coaches his daughter's team, he was away at the Canadian Juniors, and Kathy had lined me up about 6 weeks ago, and we have spent a ton of time together. We've had a great successful curling career together, winning a couple of Canadian championships, and so you know, I think I was there not to teach anything, but as somebody who really understands how she thinks. And, you know, in terms of working with the girls, it was great fun. Going out for timeouts, I just sort of intuitively knew what Kathy wanted to play. And this game is really simple. If your skip believes they're going to make something, why would you ever convince them otherwise unless there's something major that they're missing? So it wasn't a huge role, but it was a great time. The town of Altona did an amazing job, a beautiful facility.
Tight, eh?
And I
Fairly
wish
tight.
Kathy and her team all the best in Charlottetown.
And boy, did that squad come together quickly.
Well, they did, and hats off to Karen Follis, of course, too. When she did not win her zone, Kathy went after her with the same story. You know, if Brienne wins, I lose my third. You know, would you come as a fifth or be a third, depending on what happens? And they did not have a lot of time together. They managed to play in a couple of events, including the Manitoba Curling Tour Championship. But no question, it was a veteran back end, learned how to work together really quickly and work with a younger front end. And you know what? By day 3, I actually believed they were going to do that. I thought that they had a good chance going in, but they were solid. And losing to Chelsea Carey, who is the future of curling for sure in Manitoba, didn't set that team back at all. They were just tough. They won the next game, and I liked our odds in the final because I knew there's no quit in any of those girls.
And that makes for an interesting sidebar story at the Scotties, at Nationals, with 2 Manitoba representatives.
Well, it always is. With the Team Canada concept that Scotties has, you always have a returning champion, and their province obviously sends a rep. So over the years, we've always looked at the rivalry. That's always a big game because you've got 2 teams that are used to playing each other, playing in the Canadians. And I think just because of how this all came to pass, there will be a lot of eyes watching TV on Wednesday night.
And not to put you on the spot, but well, I will. I mean, how much animosity is there between the 2 skips?
You know what? I wouldn't call it animosity. I really wouldn't. You know, Jennifer really felt that she needed to make a change on her team, and teams have the right to do that. The difference of women's versus men is because they were Team Canada, it meant that having come from playing the best season that she'd ever played and winning Canada, all of a sudden she wasn't going to the Canada Cup, she wasn't going to the Continental Cup, she wasn't going back to the Scotties. And so those major things being taken away, and taken away in April, really late to put a team together, were really the crux of it. Kathy has very much moved on, part by necessity, and put a team together. She's played with a number of teams this year. I really hope that both of those teams go out there and remember that it's a privilege and an honor to play in the Canadian Championship, and that whoever wins that game doesn't win the Canadians. There are other teams just waiting to beat you. So we want both of them, because they're both from Manitoba, to go out there and make us proud. And they both would like to beat each other.
Oh, I'm sure.
Of course. It's a game.
As a marginal athlete, I was cut from a lot of teams, and every time I would go up against those teams that had cut me, I'd want to beat them, and I can't imagine it's any different at the elite level.
It's human nature to want to say, you know what, you made a mistake. I was a great part of your team. And of course, I think there'll be a lot of pressure on Caitlin Laws in that game, because people will be wondering, you know, was she the right decision for Jennifer? A pretty simple end here. Both skips sort of reference that they would go after each other and continue to do that.
We were just kidding Jim Toth, but he has brought 2 coffees, Kathy. How is that for service? Thank you, Jim.
Awesome.
Thank you.
It's clean.
I guess we'll see you in the post-game show. Well, wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Well, thanks, Jim.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, keep your phone on if you can.
Whoa. Maybe not.
Well, just rolls that one out, so nothing in play. And it's not a situation of either team being short of time.
Well, had we not had a few rocks in play the last few wins, we might be out of here already, the way this game was going.
It's going pretty quick. When you run them up and down, it does not take very long at all.
Rob Fowler's on the ice right now. He leads Roger Parker of Dauphin 6-3 now. Again, Stoughton won this morning. McEwen plays later today.
Easy.
Yeah, clean. Easy.
Okay. Shot out.
2-2 is the score in our featured match. There's Dave Night Train Boehmer.
Turn on it, eh?
2-2 against Andy Stewart.
Tie it up.
Just
Boehmer
normal.
was forced to take one in the third.
Same way.
Stewart drew for 2 in the fourth. And then a great draw by Boehmer in the fifth to tie the game.
It really was a very nice shot. Not only did he have to find a way to get the rock into the 4-foot, but he was really playing on that line of having to throw outside of the rings itself and then assume that it's going to hit the spot. Right combination of ice and weight. Now we have a very simple 6. The only difference in this back 5 versus the front is Dave Boehmer won last rock advantage in the first end by winning the draw to the button, but because of that deuce that Andy Stewart took in 4, as we play the final 5, all tied up, it is Andy Stewart and his team that do have last rock advantage. So for them, they can sit back. There's going to be pressure forced in this back 5. It has to be by the Boehmer team.
Right off.
Into Skip Stones now in the 6th. Man, it won't hang around. Nope.
Well, where do you want to put it? Well, I'm throwing a rock over here, eh?
Well, you can draw the button if you want. Or you want to put something over here? Weight's going to be pretty consistent across the sheet, so
okay,
wherever you want to put it.
You want to put it on the button? Oh, a little towards the wings.
Andy just trying to think of where they haven't thrown very many stones, so that in the process of removing it, maybe Dave Boehmer rolls out so it's an easy blank for Andy.
What? Well, I'm just thinking this kind of changes the, we haven't thrown a hit out here really, so let's see if I can hit the house. Kind of,
it's a lofty goal.
The same, eh?
Well, it is for me.
Yes. You know what? I know that you are a goalie, but today I've learned that you've been cut from every sport, every team you've ever played.
We've had a lot of time to fill.
T-line, guys.
Goodness sake.
Whoa, no more than T. T or above.
I know Andy, Kathy, wanted us to say hi to his friend Kelly Watson, who is in hospital at St. Boniface, and he is watching the game despite the fact that I'm doing play-by-play. And Kelly, Andy sends along his best wishes. He wants you to get better quickly and says he's thinking about you. And we hope you're enjoying our featured game today. Andy in a 2-2 tie right now with Dave Boehmer.
I think we banked enough time to mix it up now.
We're waiting for the gloves to come off, Kathy. It won't happen in this end.
Well, I think Dave's kind of making fun of the fact that it's pretty wide open and knows that he needs to force the issue. And he's going to have to work for that blank. Well, a pretty decent year for Andy Stewart this year. They played in about 5 events, and they either qualified or lost to qualify. So that says that you're right in the mix.
Yeah, they played 5 events this year on the Manitoba Curling Tour. Last rock of the 6th, Andy Stewart looking for the blank end.
Close.
Shot.
And he gets it to keep this game tied at 2. There's much more curling ahead. Stay tuned. We're back with the 7th end in a moment. You're watching the Safeway Championship live from Beausejour on Shaw TV.
You're in the Northern League now, son. Section F, row 10, seat 2.
The Winnipeg Goldeyes. For more information, visit goldeyes.com.
Geldwin Windows and Doors. Reliability for real life.
Safeway Championship Curling on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by Manitoba canola growers. Visit canolarecipes.ca.